Hi, my name is Rachel, and today is January 1st, 2021. This is my very first video entry in what I'm calling my Banjo Diaries that I'm going to do monthly this year as I attempt to learn how to play this instrument that I'm holding. Why am I doing it? Because I've been saying that I want to learn the banjo someday before I die for like 20 years. And in December, I came across this bluegrass group here on YouTube called the Petersons, and they're fantastic. If you've not discovered them, check them out. It's a family group, and they're really great. So as I was watching some of their Christmas music and other bluegrass music, I was just fixated on the banjo again. It just stuck out to me, and I kept thinking, oh, I would love to learn that instrument. I've always loved it. It's just grabbed me. And then I kind of stopped and I thought, what am I waiting on? Like, at what point am I actually going to learn the instrument? What's it going to take? And I thought, I should just do it. Like, I'm at a point in life now. My kids are older. I don't have to worry about sleep deprivation like I used to. I'm not in the, endless mental fog that you have in the early parenting days. My kids are old enough to be quiet when I ask them to be quiet if I'm practicing or leave me alone for a while. So I should just do it. Of course, I didn't have an instrument. So I put a post out on Facebook and just asked people, hey, does anybody have an underused instrument, a banjo laying around that they could rent me for a while? And like 5 people that I knew said, yes, I have one, absolutely. And so I'm renting this from a friend, very grateful to have the instrument. I ordered my finger picks and they arrived from Amazon a couple days ago, and I'm starting. So I spent the bulk of December, a lot of December, watching just lots and lots of videos on the banjo, educating myself more about the instrument, learning about its history, learning about the different styles of banjo playing that I wasn't aware of, deciding to go the bluegrass 3-finger banjo route as opposed to like claw hammer. And then I found an online kind of tutor instructor who has tutorial videos out. His name is Jim Pankey, and there's lots of people with really good videos out there, but he has a series of like 8 or 10 videos on learning how to play the bluegrass banjo, and I watched a few of them and I thought, that seems reasonable. Like, what he's asking me to do, I think I can do. So my plan is that I'm going to do 1 video a month, and I'm going to devote a whole month to whatever task he's asking me to work on and master. So that seems like a reasonable amount of time to devote to it. Not moving too fast, not expecting within a week or two, to have down pat everything I should have. And then we'll see. And if I need more time, I'll add on more time. We'll see how it goes. A little bit of background, just to be transparent with my musical background. I am a musician. I'm a professional high school teacher. So by day, I teach high school Spanish. But my whole life, I've been a cellist. I started playing the cello when I was 3. So I play the cello. I play piano decently. I can get around on a violin because one of my sons plays violin, so I seem to have that in my hand often while I'm playing with him. So I'm not ignorant to music, and I know 10 guitar chords that I picked up when I was in college. So I'm not great on the guitar at all. I'm not ignorant to music, but I know nothing about the banjo. I have learned just in the past week or two what the strings are, and that is the extent of it. So I'm really, really coming at this as a true beginner on the banjo. And so I just thought it would be interesting to see somebody who comes as a total beginner, what progression looks like throughout the course of a year. My ultimate goal someday in life is to be able to play dueling banjos with somebody else. And that, if I can do that someday, I will feel like I have accomplished what I wanted to on the instrument, and hopefully also just be able to get together with other musicians and play music together on this instrument. So that's kind of where we are. So the first lesson that I'm going to work on this month, I'll tell you what I'm going to work on, and then we'll come back in February and see how far I went. I'm not doing anything with the left hand. It's all right hand. I'm working on one roll and one pinch pattern. And what I've learned from my video is that I have to plant, it's recommended that I plant either both my ring finger and pinky or one or the other. And I've already played around a little bit with what that feels like, and I feel very restricted with my mobility if I plant two fingers. So I am probably gonna start off by just planting my pinky, because I feel like in order for my middle finger to have total flexibility, my ring finger needs to be not planted down. I feel much more restricted, whatever. So that's gonna be my goal. I'm gonna get comfortable with planting my pinky while playing so that I'm not just floating in the air. And then I have two patterns that I'm working on. So I'll show them to you today so you can see how incredibly not accomplished I am at them. And then we'll come back in a month and see how I did. So the first is the pinch pattern. And it goes, it's the middle string, and then okay. So that's the pinch pattern that I want to get quicker at, and without having to think and without having to look at my hand. I really need to learn the distance of where the 5 strings are and playing with these picks, because I'm used to pizzicato on the cello, but that's with my finger, not with a metal or a plastic pick. So I have to get used to that. And then the roll that I'm learning uses all 3 fingers. So it goes. Okay. And so that is twice as fast, ideally, as the pinch pattern. So those would be like 1/8 notes, whereas the pinch pattern is more like 1/4 notes. So that's what I'm working on. My goal is to, and I'll tell you, this is like my accountability video, I'll tell you how I do, but my goal is to play a minimum of 20 minutes a day, and it's just working on this. So hopefully after a month, I can do it pretty much on autopilot without having to think hard. The speed will be a little bit better, and it'll feel a lot more natural. We'll see how it goes. So I will be back, and hopefully a more accomplished banjo player at the end of this.